Welcome to another installment of Cartoon Newsblock. Before I proceed to go into our topic of the day, please subscribe if you haven't already. It greatly helps out with the channel. I'm so excited to bring you content as much as I can, so I would love to know if the feedback is good. Now, let me discuss something very interesting. According to an article in Hollywood Reporter, Pixar, the well-regarded animation studio known for animated films such as Up, the Toy Story films, The Incredibles, and WALL-E, has laid off 14% of its workforce, which equates to 175 employees. This move was initiated by Bob Iger, who had taken back his role as CEO of Disney after Bob Chapek's exit from the company. According to the article, the move was in order for the studio to start shifting their priority back on making just feature films and ditching the streaming series that they were making under Chapek's tenure. This was for good reason, because Turning Red and Luca had done less than stellar for them in revenue due to their inclusion to Disney Plus straight out of the gate, instead of going to theaters. This move was made due to the COVID panic that caused many places to shut down operations for a while. On top of that, Lightyear failed miserably for them and didn't bring in the numbers they were looking for. According to the article, the layoffs was known by employees since January of this year. Bob's strategy for the layoffs was also for the studio to lessen up its resources so they can stop making streaming content for Disney Plus. Pixar has had some great successes lately with Elemental, which earned $500 million at the box office. To appease shareholders, Disney are counting on Inside Out 2, which comes out on June 14th, to perform well for them. There's also news of Toy Story 5 coming in 2026, so this should bolster the studio's presence going forward. I have only one word to say about the situation. Finally. I believe this move was needed on their part. Pixar has always been the studio that has held Disney in place as a tour de force in animation. Even though layoffs are never good for employees, especially the animators, it had to be done. We are in a time where Disney isn't the talk of the town anymore. It has received much ire from fans all over. On top of that, Disney Plus is trying to stay afloat with their partnership with Max and Hulu to combat Netflix's iron grip on streaming content. And on another note, Disney lost $500 million on just the streaming content alone. So this should on streaming content alone. So for what I believe, this is definitely good news on their part. Getting Pixar to stop their effort on making streaming content was the best move in my opinion. Hopefully Bob Iger makes more drastic changes like this going forward. For instance, I would love for him to cut back on making live-action remakes of Disney's animated catalog. These movies haven't gained much recognition beyond the studio touting representation and diversity. They just feel so lifeless. Yes, that counts for that new live-action Lion King movie coming out with Mufasa. They really need to get rid of them and fast. I would love for them to get back to making their own animated films again. If they do it frequently, stay away from making films such as 2022's Strange World. So, what do you think about Bob Iger's layoff strategy to restore quality back to Pixar? Was it the right move, or was it just something just to save face? Like, could the situation could have been handled differently? Let me know in the comments what you think of what happened. With that said, I will talk to you all on the next one. Excelsior.